Tiffany, make sure to get me a cake made up and brought to my wedding, please. I am really looking forward to my wedding here soon, so please make it the best cake you've ever seen.
What?
I already tried calling this really famous pastier to make my cake, but they told me it would be around $3,000. I was in shock at the price until George told me that I could just ask you to take care of the cost and everything. Did you not hear anything about this yet?
So far, I've heard nothing about all that, and asking me to get that wedding cake ready for you right now isn't going to help me any.
What? But if you don't have one made up for me, you're not going to be any help. I don't have a whole lot of money right now, so I was hoping you could make a cake that looks just like the one I tried to order. You run a cake store after all, so you can make one just as good, right?
It's not that I can't make you a wedding cake. I just happen to have a lot of orders in the system already, so squeezing yours in might be difficult. Your wedding is only in 2 more weeks as well.
Please, 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 please make me a cake! This is your cute little niece asking you for this, right? You would love to make a wonderful wedding cake for your niece's wedding, wouldn't you?
Of course I'd love to. Ever since your parents both passed away, it's been George and I raising like you were our own daughter. So the fact that someone who has been like our own daughter is getting married has really got me tearing up a bit. Therefore, I'd really love to make you a wedding cake.
That's right. That's totally right. So even if you're really busy right now, you'll be able to have that cake made for me, right?
I can try my best. You are my cute little niece daughter after all. Now, as far as the cost of this cake, do you think 200 would be fair to ask for?
You're joking, right? You're trying to charge me for that cake now? George told me that I could get the cake for free.
That man always loves to say whatever he likes without talking first. I'm sorry, Oliver, but I at least need money to cover the cost of some of the ingredients, or else I can't make you a really good wedding cake. Normally, I charge between $500 to $600 for a cake like this, so me just asking you for $200 seems pretty fair to me.
Come on now, you should be giving it to me for free. And weren't you just calling me your daughter? Don't be such a stingy loser asking your own daughter for money.
What?
George just told me I'd get the cake for free. He also told me that there would be no reason for you to charge me for the cake. Yet now you're asking me to pay $200? Don't be such a jerk. This must mean that you don't love me at all.
Why would you think something like that? I never said that I didn't love you.
You're lying. You're not happy about my wedding or anything at all right now, are you? You probably think of me as some leftover burden from your brother after he passed away, right? Well, this burden is about to get married and be the happiest woman ever.
What are you going on about right now? I have never once thought of you as a burden, Oliver. The reason I've been raising you as my own daughter is because, to see me, you're like a gift from my brother and his wife. And I'm really sad that you'll be leaving me after you get married. But seeing you so happy to be the man of your dreams makes me so joyful.
Then make me that cake and give it to me for free. If you really love me, you can do that, right? You can pay for whatever ingredients you need to get for that cake.
All right already. I guess I'll be making your wedding cake for free now. You are my cute little niece after all, so I'll make some time to get that cake ready.
Yahoo! I love you so much, Tiffany. I'll stop by later to give you all the designs I like on that cake. And at the same time, can you make sure to give me all the pre-made meals you'll have for me this week?
What?
What's wrong? I'm not going to ask you for money or anything, alright?
It's not about that. Rather the fact that you want me to make more food for you. I understood doing that for you when you were living alone for a little bit in your apartment, but you're married now, right? You're living with Reese now, so you should have the time to make some food for yourselves, okay?
What? That's not going to happen. I suck at cooking, and you know that. And recently, Reese has been asking me to make something for us to eat. I can't tell him that I suck at cooking now of all times because we just got married.
What? Have you been lying to Reese about your cooking?
It's his fault for mistaking what I was giving him as my cooking. I was just handing him off some of the food you made me, and he always complimented me on how good my cooking was. So when the time came that he proposed to me, he told me that he'd love to eat my delicious cooking for the rest of his life. There's no way I can tell him the truth after he said something like that and married me. Ugh.
You're kidding me! So you think that you're just going to continue to feed Reese's my cooking while making it seem like yours for the rest of your life? There's no way you can keep a lie like that going forever. You need to hurry up and tell him the truth right now before it's too late.
I know that already. That's why I've been practicing my cooking in secret. Once I've actually improved enough and can cook like you, I'll start to cook for him.
Are you really practicing right now? I'm pretty sure you already have your hands full with things like your job and this wedding. And on all your days off, you spend time going out with Reese and dates. And there's no way you have time to be practicing your cooking right now.
You just shut up, Tiffany. For the time being, don't do anything that would ruin my life. If you do end up telling him the truth, I'll start praying that my mom and dad up in heaven both come here down and take you with them.
What?
Now, I'll talk to you later. I look forward to the cake you make for me.
Excuse me, George. I'm having to tell you this all the time, aren't I? Not to go out taking orders from me like that, without at least talking with me first. And from what I heard, you've told Oliver that she could get her wedding cake for free from me.
This is the wedding, our cute niece. Even asking for money to pay for ingredients would be a sin when it comes to family.
You don't even understand how difficult it is to make a wedding cake, so don't even start with me right now, mister. If you think you can start offering my work for free, then you get your butt in this kitchen and start helping with the cakes.
What?
I've had it up to here with you, George. Not only have you been doing things like this to me, but you left your job without asking me first and have been sitting around the house all day ever since. If you have all the time to do nothing but watch TV and scroll through your phone, then I'm going to have you come here and start working for me. And even if you suck at making cakes, I have plenty of other chores that you could be doing here.
Screw you. I went through with quitting my job already, so why should I have to start working again now? I was being kind by going out of my way to get that cake order from our niece. So it's time for you to start listening to me a bit more after doing that for you.
What the hell are you talking about? I never said I needed you to get that order from her without asking me for permission first. And what is this about your cute niece being so important to you now? I don't ever remember you doing anything to help me raise her, like looking after her or doing the chores at home. And when it came to paying for her, you said that it was me who asked her to come into our home, so I was responsible for all the money that she cost. And that's why I have never even got a penny from you or her. However, even with all of that going on behind the scenes, you've continued to act like you're such a caring uncle to her.
Shut up. I'm tired of listening to you whine. Now just do something about that cake for her. And I'm not helping you with Jack.
Sorry for calling you right before your wedding, Oliver. I've just had some troubles finding where I should be sitting. I've tried asking some of the staff here to help me out, but they don't see me on their seating charts. It looks like there's been some kind of mistake, so could you please do something about this?
I'm sorry, Tiffany. I totally forgot to text you about this, but there's no seat for you at my wedding, so could you please get out of here now?
What? Why is there no seat here for me? George has a seat and everything.
Man, I was having such a hard time thinking about this right before my wedding. But in the end, I decided that I wanted my wedding to be only for my family and friends. So I made sure to get rid of your seat here since you're not family or anything.
What? I'm your family though, right? I have been raising you like my daughter forever now.
Huh? All you've been is my foster mother, right? In other words, you've been like the family's old maid. Nothing to do with my actual family.
What? I have been raising you like my own daughter for the past 20 years though, right?
And I'm thankful for all of that, but I have never ever thought of you as part of my actual family.
What did you say?
I also have Reese's and his family now, so I'll be alright after today. I have no use for you anymore, Tiffany, so go away now.
I only asked for my family and friends to be here today. You're not part of my guests, Tiffany. Then why does George have a seat here? He's not only my husband, but he's not even related to you by blood in any way. George is totally fine being here because he gave me a whole lot of money to celebrate my wedding. What? He gave me $5,000 as a present, Tiffany. He's such a wonderful uncle, right? Completely different from an old hag like you that wanted to take $200 of mine for that cake. Ha! I guess there was no hope for you then, being swept away by a man like him just because he waved $5,000 in front of your eyes. I'd probably put in close to $150,000 now, raising and supporting you, but really, all you wanted was the money as a present for your wedding? I guess I should have kept all that money to myself and only gave it to you today so that I'd be able to have a seat here. Stop it with all that annoying whining and get lost already! This wedding is starting really soon, you know. You're really such a brat. I put in a lot of work getting that cake ready for you and everything so that we could all enjoy it today. Do you still even want the cake that I brought? Or do you really want me to just leave it here for someone as selfish as you and leave without saying anything at least? I totally forgot about that cake you were making for me. We already have a different cake here now, so we don't need yours anymore. Are you kidding? You got another cake? How did you pay for that when you were the one asking me to make one for you for free? Actually, I went ahead and made a cake for the wedding myself. There has been this video going around online lately of this wife who made her husband a cake for their wedding, and he was crying tears of love and joy. I wanted to do the same thing for Reese's, and so I did my very best to make the wedding cake for today. What? You can't even cook, so how did you bake a cake of all things? Cooking is pretty difficult for me, but baking is just following the instructions, right? I also had a lot of experiences watching you make all your cakes when I was younger. So I may have not have made any cake myself before, but I remembered all the things you did and used that to make my own. What? You always made it look so easy cooking all your cakes. So I just had to give it my all and was able to achieve the same cake you can. You were able to put in the effort to make a wedding cake for today because of the excitement you had watching that video? Are you sure the cake you made is really alright? For a beginner, I like to think the cake is magnificent. I think it'll be enough to get Reese's to stop over its beauty and his love for me. Guess I'll just have to keep watching these online videos, and I can do anything for him. So you really don't need the wedding cake I made for you? I made that cake with a lot of love while I was so busy having to handle so many other orders. I didn't even get much sleep last night because I had to put all the finishing touches on your cake. Go home and eat that cake all by yourself. Ah, and by the way, today, I'm cutting ties with you. What? I mean, I did an amazing job making this cake all by myself, right? Which means I really do not need you anymore because I should be able to cook by myself as well. I don't need you making food for Reese's and I anymore, okay? So really, I don't need you in my life anymore. I have put my blood and sweat into raising you and this is how you end things? I guess that's the way you've really been thinking about me all this time. I'm finally able to cut ties with a stranger like you. Now take that wedding cake you made and get lost. Alright then. Goodbye forever. Get lost already. Ha! I don't need you in my life anymore. Then I'll do as you've asked and get out of your life for good. But prepare yourself, Oliver. There's no way someone as selfish and heartless as you will be able to live a happy life for much longer like this. And I'm telling you right now that both your parents up in heaven are pissed at you. Out of all the days you've been around me, you're choosing a day like today to preach to me like this? I don't want to hear about it anymore, Tiffany. Now shut your mouth and screw off. Huh? I'm sorry to say this, but I plan to live the rest of my life in Reese's arms. Help me, Tiffany! Reese's is not doing well at all right now. He took a bite of my cake and soon after he collapsed. Why? I made this cake exact the same way you were and everything. I even took a taste of the cake after I made, and it was delicious. So why did he collapse and pass out like that? What the hell's wrong with your recipe? Are you serious? Did you use eggs in the cake? Huh? Everyone uses eggs in their cakes, right? And based off what I always saw you doing, you put more eggs than the average recipe asked for. What the hell are you doing, you dumbass? Your freaking husband is deathly allergic to eggs! No wonder he's passed out after eating the cake you just made! What? Reese's allergic to eggs? Why the hell are you surprised by something like that when he's your husband? You were the one who told me he was allergic to eggs, right? You told me that he was deathly allergic to them and to keep them out of the cake! Ah! He's even been to our house before dinner, right? That's when I first learned he couldn't have any eggs and made sure to always cook him dishes that he could eat. I've even stopped using eggs in most of the dishes I could for myself. I completely forgot! I had always been feeding him the food you made for me and totally forgot about the fact that he could never eat eggs. I know I told you to not use any eggs in the cake as well, but I forgot that I even said that to you. Wait! That cake is being eaten by the rest of the people there as well, right? Yes, I made that cake large enough for everyone to have a slice of it. I even made some smaller ones with the leftover I had for the kids here. So everyone is going to be eating cake with eggs in it now? That's right. I made it using your recipe, and the same goes for the smaller cakes. Tell them all to stop eating the cake right now. George and some of Reese's families are all allergic to eggs as well. If they all start to eat it, everyone's going to be in trouble. What? What should I do? What should I do? Oh God, I can hear more people screaming out here right now. You call 911 right now and get paramedics to that wedding. I don't think George had his EpiPen on him, and I'm not sure about the others. They need medical help right now.
I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday. I've finally been able to breathe again and was just let out of the hospital.
I'm sorry myself for what Oliver went and did to everyone.
I never thought that someone who knew about me having a terrible allergy to eggs would make me a cake filled with them. I'm in shock right now just thinking about it, and it's not just that which I'm in shock by. It seems as though you've always been the one cooking food for Oliver, and I eat it, right? The fact that she's hidden that fact from me this whole time.
So you found out about that as well, huh?
Oliver told me everything after what she did to me. I was completely fooled.
Actually, I only just learned about that recently myself. I told her to tell you the truth the moment she opened up to me about it, but Oliver didn't listen to me, it seems.
I don't blame you for any of this, Tiffany, so please don't feel bad about it. I'm the one who's sorry right now about not realizing all of this going on a lot sooner. I'm sure it was very tough for you, not only having to have to cook for your husband and you, but for another couple as well. And from what I also heard, it does not seem like Oliver was paying you at all for all that food.
Well, it sure wasn't easy having to do all that while also running a cake shop.
You did all that for both Oliver and I, yet she still chose to kick you out of our wedding. You even made that cake for us for free, yet she forced you to leave. When I heard all of this from her after waking up, I felt like passing out again.
I am so very sorry about what that girl has done to you.
You do not have to apologize for the actions of another grown woman. Now I just want to let you know, from here on out, I'm planning on breaking things off with Oliver.
And I completely understand that after what she did to you.
The only thing though, by leaving her, I'll also be leaving you. I'm really sorry that things have to come to this, Tiffany. But if you are okay with staying in touch, even after the divorce, I'd love that very much.
What?
My allergy has always been behind why I've never really enjoyed eating anything, but what you have been making for me was always so delicious. Especially your sweets. That's a very hard feat, considering most sweets require eggs, right? Well, all of those things you made for me really moved me and have left me wanting more and more. Do you think you can teach me some of those recipes sometime?
If you really love my cooking that much, then I'd be happy to. When things have calmed down a bit, let's start working on that. I'll make sure to set aside some time for you and teach you all the eggless recipes I know.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Now I need to start settling things with Oliver. I'll talk to you later.
What am I going to do, Tiffany? Reese's is wanting to leave me now! That's what you freaking get. Had you been another second late on calling 911, he might not even be alive anymore. Why would you say something so mean? At a time like this, you should be comforting your family. What was that? Family? We're family again? I thought you already cut ties with me. Did you forget that too? Huh? Well, now you've been reminded of what you said to me, so don't ever talk to me again now. Goodbye. Wait. After being divorced, I'm getting kicked out of Reese's house. It's fine for me to move back in with you guys now, right? That's the only house I have left to move into now. I'm sure that George would love to have me back in that house, right? George isn't here anymore, Oliver. Him and I got divorced. What? This is what happens when we get tied to one another. After what happened before your wedding with him always acting so selfishly, it really got me thinking about our future. I decided that I'd really not enjoy the latter years of my life living with a man-child like him, so I said that we were getting a divorce. What? Huh? Were you guys really that upset with one another all the time? Things may have seemed fine when you were around us, but behind the scenes, I've been fed up with him for a long time. He was the one that always said he had to take care of you since you were my niece, but then never did a single thing to help out when raising you. I was also having to take care of him and all of his allergies, yet he never once thanked me for my cooking and would always go to bed right after eating. I can't imagine what life would be like with him in my 60s, 70s, 80s. So where's George right now? I can't really say where he's ran off to. He's not my family after all. No way! Then where should I go home to? How about you text him and ask if he would let you stay in his place? But I'm sure with George being the child that he is, he won't want to share whatever place he's found with you. And as we all know, you tried to kill him at your wedding. Tiffany, I'm really sorry for all the rude things I've said to you before. I apologize to you for the rest of my life if you like, as long as you let me stay at your house. No thanks. Now I have to start working on some cakes here, and will have to put my phone down in order to do so. Goodbye forever. I'm sure even without anyone to rely on now, you'll figure something out. You have your mom and dad protecting you from heaven after all. Oliver ended up finding out where George went and went out to him asking for help. But as I had said, he was no longer going to let her be with him, and even told her that after trying to kill him with that wedding cake, he would be trying to get a settlement from her for the damages she caused. However, Oliver wasn't going to pay him anything, saying that he wasn't even the one who raised her all those years, and that it was only me that put any time, effort, and money into her. They both had been fighting it out for a while now, going at each other's throat over who should be held responsible for everything. And because of that, the gap has only grew larger because the both of them and between them and the rest of the family. As for what happened with myself after all of that, I started to work together with Reese, making more allergy-free cakes and sweets at my cake shop. And only a few weeks after launching my new line of allergy-free cakes and sweets, I have already become a hit in the town and with people who are outside the city limits. I never saw a partnership like this happening with Reese, but because of him, my store has grown even more, and I have only him to thank for all of that.